Time machines don't exist. Wish-granting genies don't exist. Never say, I wish I could go back, because it deflects the blame and creates a toxic mindset. You messed up, and because you can't change it, you need to adapt, evolve, and recalibrate yourself. You can regret your own actions, but wishing you can go back is just a waste of time, and it's time that people acknowledge that. This is one of my life's core policies. I'd like to play you a snippet of one of my favourite songs for a bit. These lyrics shaped my life. This one chorus permanently altered my way of thinking to always put the blame on myself when possible. Not out of some backwards victim mentality, but because it stops you from repeating the same mistakes again and again. We can blame the system all we want, but if it simply isn't to blame, then you will never grow as an individual. For example, if I always get robbed when I go down this alleyway, then rather than blaming the awful security, I'll just go the other way. Yes, the thieves and the police can be rightly blamed, but I can also do my own part to ensure that I reduce the risk. Understanding and acknowledging our mistakes is crucial, but eventually you need to stop reflecting on the past and move forward into the future. So, why am I bringing this up? Well, because it's something the lefties need to get through their thick fucking skulls. When I returned from my holiday, I was so eager to get back to making videos again. But one rhetoric actually boiled my blood vessels so much that no amount of jokes, exaggerations, or personality switching could calm me down. I took a couple of bonus days off where I did fuck all. You see, despite my speech, I, along with everybody else on the right, was blamed for something that I absolutely refuse to accept any blame for whatsoever. On Saturday, 25th of July 2026, an Islam extremist drove his van into the Berlin Pride Parade before jumping out and going on a mass stabbing spree. One person died and 29 others were injured. 30 attacks in one go, and who was to blame? Why, it was the right, of course. The blame was placed on us under the guise of two different claims. One, we actively encourage this by constantly attacking the LGBT plus community. Two, we share the same beliefs as the Islam extremists. Now, this is obviously absurd, contradictory, completely retarded, utterly unforgivable, and everyone that earnestly believes this has a combined IQ of 5, but let's dive a little deeper, shall we? Claim 1 is that we attack the LGBT plus community. No, we do not. The issues we raise are that some of their more extreme values are being forced upon the wider population. I would have hated to grow up in modern England, because I liked playing with Gundam as a kid. It's a hobby that is like 99% male. Because of that, I would have immediately been accused of being a closeted transgender. Nothing wrong with that, but I would have their views constantly forced on me. Gundam Seed was specifically targeted at girls, and that just happens to be the one my older brothers were watching at the time, but I'm sure that has nothing to do with it. Clearly I'm just trans, am I right? This kind of mindset of defying logic in favour of pushing a narrative, alongside the failure to acknowledge how this could be exploited, is what we have a problem with. If you come out as trans, I will do absolutely everything I can to support you. I'll try my best to remember your preferred pronouns. I will never dead name you. And I'll try to learn how it's best to interact with you. I've taught several trans students who are all wonderful people. In fact, one of them was extremely intelligent and understanding. I'd regularly have interesting conversations with them, and they often updated me on stuff that's been happening in their community. Yet, he understood that he would have to be referred to as a female and use his birth name on legal documents and exams. Very understanding, very polite. On the reverse side, you have loud-mouthed individuals that are trying to enter opposing bathrooms, insist that transgenderism is not the same as gender dysphoria, because the latter is a mental disorder, and genuinely not see any problem with biological males competing in sporting events that were specifically designed for biological females. These guys ruin it for the entire community, and that is what the right have a problem with. Sure, some people will have the view that any aspect of the LGBT plus community is completely unacceptable, but I would strongly condemn them as much as the left do. But hey-ho, we were to blame for the Berlin attack because we critiqued the community. Claim 2 is that we share the same ideology as the Islam extremists regarding the following statement: Western society is not compatible with Islam ideology. Obviously, this focuses on the idea that the West condemn the archaic beliefs of Islam, whilst the East want to enforce them. This is so stupid that I'm struggling to even script this part. Most people in the West are tolerant of the Muslims that live here, but the Eastern countries would not at all tolerate the LGBT plus community, and this has been proven time and time and time and time and time again. You people just need to realize that if you are in this community and you go to places like Palestine or Afghanistan, you will be executed. That isn't a possibility. That is just straight up what will happen. The Quran literally commands it. Women should obey their husbands, men can rape non-Muslim women, marrying at age 6 is acceptable, and you should kill everyone that disagrees with you. People often compare that shit to the Bible, but then they conveniently forget that most of the insane, detrimental, horrific stuff that happens is in the Old Testament. For people that love to complain the Bible is just a fictional story, you sure love leaving out the whole character arc where Jesus sacrifices himself for the world's sin. The entire point is that humans sin all the time, so that sacrifice gets rid of all those insane rules in exchange for 2 simple requirements: love and follow God, and love thy neighbour as you would yourself. There of course are Christian extremists who will ignore this and attack others, but like I've been saying this entire time, there are extremists in every single group. Well, Lyra, you figured out that Christianity and Islam aren't compatible. Incredible detective work. That's not the point, dumbass. The point is that there are extremist attacks in every group. Editing Lyra here, I just found this whilst I was searching for examples of Christian extremism in the UK, and I couldn't really find any, so I asked AI mode for help. As it turns out, most Christian attacks, when investigated, were linked to the extremist political groups rather than the religion itself. An exception I found was actually a Muslim pretending to be a Christian, which kind of derails the following point I'm about to make, but whatever. Not all religious attacks are committed by Muslims, just the vast majority are because their stupid book explicitly commands it. Yes, I'm showing bias here, but that's because I'm about to talk about the incident that triggered this entire video. After the attack, a particularly brain-dead retard started up a new line of thought that takes all of the blame mentioned prior and places it solely on the right. Not the right are partially to blame, or we all need to take a step back and reevaluate our priorities. Nope, it's all our fault apparently. Kate Osborne, who is, not surprised to see this, a Labour MP, claims that the right's anti-LGBT views caused this, and that we shouldn't spread Islamophobia as a result. Are you actually brain dead? Regardless of whether it is right or wrong, surely you can agree that if a Muslim wasn't involved, this wouldn't have happened, right? It's one person, that if that person didn't exist, a daughter wouldn't have to be asking where her mummy was when she got home. All because of one filthy, dirty terrorist that is currently burning in hell along with the rest of those fucking degenerates. The true far right, and not just anyone that isn't left, believe that all Muslims should be removed from our country. Whilst I don't agree with that statement at all, you cannot deny that if that were the case, then none of these rape gangs, stabbings, bombings, and ridiculous ideology would exist. There would still be cases of all these crimes being committed, of course, but none of these cases are being actively encouraged by some 2,000-year-old book that reads like someone made a bad OC, added it into the Bible, and then added a "do not steal" mark just so they could justify killing anyone that even draws a damn picture of their character. Oh, I'm not done. Because when GB News responded to the accusations of being the cause of the Berlin attack, one of their guests said this in response.
Have another discussion. Until she's ready to do that, I'm not going to engage in what she says.
I actually find it fascinating that you just did that, because you said and you said that, oh, you're conflating arguments and you can't be, it's quite rudimentary, you can't focus on this and then conflate that. You've just made assertions about the left, and you've pretty much tarred the entire left with a certain way of thinking, where what I actually...
The political establishment left.
Don't paint the whole left in one stroke. That's what you guys do on an hourly basis, you dumb fucking cunt, whenever you claim that we are the far right. Whether it be in schools, your stupid games, or your own politics, you always brand the entire right-wing community as far-right Nazis. Even with a tweeting question, you are talking about the entire right, you absolute hypocritical retard. Rather than blaming the right, how about you fuckers accept some responsibility and realize that letting a bunch of undocumented immigrants enter into the country illegally might not be the best fucking idea. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Not all Muslims are like this, but those that enter illegally are obviously more likely to commit crimes. Ultimately, I have one very simple question. What if you accept all of these people into the UK out of your endless compassion, and you're wrong? Don't comment just yet. I'm not asking you to try and debunk my claims. This isn't a trick. This isn't rhetorical. I'm asking you one simple question. What if you are wrong? Am I just fear-mongering? Am I just being racist? Am I just a horrible individual that needs to be locked up? By all means, feel free to attack me. Feel free to attack my points. Do it to your heart's desire. But at the end of your comment, ignore all of that and assume that I am right. It will only take a moment to answer the question. It will only take a moment to temporarily change your way of thinking. Just answer the question. What if you are wrong? You are all so quick to accuse politicians of dodging questions, but I bet you're no different. You'll make up some excuse on why you can't answer, just like the rest of them. Perhaps you don't even have the brain capacity to actually understand the concept of critical thinking, but give it a try. What if you are wrong? What if this is an invasion? Will you fight back using the military that you defunded? Will you try more of your peaceful protests and get gunned down like the Iranians? Maybe you'll get on your knees and beg America for help. Or will you accept your fate and take responsibility for your actions, or lack thereof? I hope you understand the consequences. Your gay lover being executed for protesting against the regime? It's your fault. Your daughters being stripped of their education? Your fault. Your beloved Pride Month erased from the records? Your fault. Your isolation from the rest of the Western world? Your fault. Don't respond with, but that won't happen. Assume it will, and just answer the question. Time machines don't exist. Wish-granting genies don't exist. If you make the wrong call on this, and Islam takes over the country, there is no going back. Every death, every rape, and every policy change is now your fault. Not mine, not the right's, yours. So let me ask you one last time. What will you do if you are wrong?